Kahala Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh, Shalom Yashara. I'm doing this as a response to what just happened on the panel with this dude who came on there and chose to tell all these lies. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all that when he tried to put me into his lie to help him with all that, oh, bro, you done. So we're going to start off right here. We're going to come back to the Torah. And for anybody who wants it, just want to know where I get this from, this is going to be a book called Our Oriental Heritage by William Durant. You see, 1954. All right, so this book got some years on it. Chapter 11, A Motley of Nations. Now it says these are the Indo-European people, right? So it says Indo-European people. And then when you go down, it's going to say Philistines, Amorites, Canaanites, Edomites, Ammonites, Moabites. So all these African nations is telling you they are what? The Indo-European people. Now, for some, I know that might be quite wild, but let's just go ahead and keep going. So, let's keep going right here. And we're going to go to this article that I have and just show you what it is. It says the European Journal of Human Genetics. And it says the R-V88 parental record. I want to show y'all something. Go into this first paragraph, right? You go to this first paragraph, it says, although human Y chromosome belonging to the haplogroup RB1 are quite rare in Africa, I acknowledge that. It says being found mainly in Asia and Europe, a group of chromosomes within the paragraph R-P25 are found concentrated in the central part of Africa continent. It says where that can be detected are frequencies as high as 95% polygenic evidence and Collinson's time to estimate suggests that RP25 chromosomes for their polygenic ancestors may have arrived to Africa by an Asian to Africa back migration in prehistoric times. We're going to deal with that in a minute too. It says here we describe 6 new mutations that define the relationship amongst the Africans. R-P25, while chromosome between these African chromosomes and earlier reported RP25 Eurasian, see that? Sublineages incorporation of these new mutations into phylogeny and R1b haplogroup led to the identification of a new clade. Now notice, that's going to put you at R1b1a, and then that's going to put RV88. I want you to keep that one in mind, that RV88, right? Chromosomes are worldwide, blah, blah, blah. That word's hard. It says analysts of the R1b haplogroup provided the support to the Asia to Africa back to migration hypothesis. The analysts of the distribution of R88 V haplogroup, 1,800 males of 69 African populations revealed the striking genetic congruity between the Kadic-speaking people of Central Sahel, other than the Afro-Asiatic groups of North Africa. The VR88 and time is estimated 92 to 56 in early mid holistic. We suggest that the R, notice them, they keep R88 is a parental genetic record. It says proposed the mid Hellenistic migrations from Proto-Chadic, Afro-Asiatic speaking through the Central Sahara and the Lake Chad Basin. So once again, this is clearly telling you that this R gene is from Africa, right? So let's go over here. Let's get some more information. And that's going to be genetic chronology of African Y chromosomes, African chromosomes, RV88. And that's going to tell you who these people are. Clyde Winters. It says global distribution of the Y chromosome, RM. Now remember, these are all African. M343 subclass across the African continent of subclasses of RM269 of R-V88. The V88 subclass is the oldest, see that? Class separate from the RM34, The V88 subclass had relatives in the early Neolithic samples that came across a wide geographic area from eastward to Germany. See that? And Samra, it's not Samaria, Samra, and will be the carriers of relatives of V88 among the Yamana, Bell Beaker people, given a wide distribution of V88. M269 in Africa, Neolithic suggests that the Bell Beaker and Yamani people were Africans. Now it's telling you, you can find this in a lot of people who what? German descent, right? We're going to keep this going. So we showing Lex's line about that R group. And then it's going to say mostly frequently occurring in perennial lineages, West Europe, as well as some parts of Russia. Now remember, West Europe, Russia, Central Africa. You see that? North Africa, Central Asia, Eastern Europe, Western Asia. So that's clearly telling you, and it says the R1b has two primary branches. I ain't going to read into all them numbers, but they all start with the R. Just keep that in mind, because this dude already told you that was wrong, so he lied. Which predominates Western Europe, R1 V88, which is common in Central Africa. So I just showed you these, excuse me, wrong one. I just showed you that the V88, Bell Beaker, Yamani, this is going to be who we know as the Germans, right? So now y'all got some problems, Lex. Y'all going to have to deal with this today, bro. This is going to be your warm-up. So let's keep going. Now, let's look at this real quick. Now, let's not let this nigga lie. That is Eurasia. They're all one big continent. It's still one big continent. This never try to change the definitions. We already caught this dude lying. So now, let's look at some witnesses, right? Let's look at some witnesses. So, I'm going to bring y'all the first witness. It's my brother, Chief Mika. He's a very, very, very passionate brother, and his channel has actually been under malicious attack. So I'm actually doing this as well to help, because they've deleted a lot of his videos, but I want you to listen to what he says.
Of America. These people are bedfellows. They are the same people. They are both the people cataloged as the so-called Negro of America. These people are bedfellows. They are the same people. They are both written in stone in the temples of the Eastern Hemisphere. There is no paleface written in the history of the Americas in our temples. These people came from Africa. These people came from Africa. These people came from Africa.
He ain't just talking about, I want you to pay attention. He's talking about these people. We know these people came from Africa, but he's talking about these people. That's why he said, you can't find that in the American walls. But when you look on the Egyptian walls
of the Eastern Hemisphere, there is no paleface written in the history of the Americas in our temples. These people came from Africa.
Okay, so that's another witness. And like I said, this is a very dedicated brother. I recommend everybody check him out before they take all this stuff down. It's a very dedicated brother. But he caught on to this. Like he said, all of these people, they came from over there. Eurasia. That's all. Remember? Like he said, that's from Eurasia. These people are African. So you know what? So, let's go to another one. And I want you to peep game. You know, I love the old man. He's real sincere. So I want you to listen to what he says about Canaan. Because we're finna destroy Lex. Listen.
Canaan, which is you, Conan, the barbarian, dwelt amongst the disagreeable.
Woo, 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 woo. You see that? He said, you dwelled amongst the disagreeable. So that's another witness. He's already told you that the Canaan. Told you. Canaan, out of all. See, he's got them all drawn, all the sons. Ham, Cush, you know what I'm saying? But he's got Canaan right here as the only one who was an albino.
Who was born in the ship or the...
I ain't gonna let him finish that, but all he's got to say is that that's the albino is Canaan. So once again, continuously showing you people that this stuff is real. Shout out to the brother Judah Naz. You know, we was just on there a second ago. But yeah, the brothers, the elders showing you that again. Now, I wouldn't be me, because I ain't finna make this long, because you ain't finna get all that. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't pull up at least one super African that's going to accidentally tell on herself. She's going to accidentally tell y'all she's very super African. Very. Do I agree with everything she say? No. She goes off a lot. But one thing I can say about this sister, at least she tries to stand on hers. But I'm going to show y'all something. What she's done is she stumbled on the fact that there's a cross in the history, and she don't quite understand it. But I'm going to show you, let me show you her admit that Genesis 9 is real when it told you that those people are the Canaanites and they will be slaves to their brother. Now watch her accidentally admit it.
At the same time that white people tried to tell us that they were enslaving boatloads of black people, bringing them to the Americas from Africa, and this is how all black people got to the Americas. Well, the truth is at the very same time during this so-called transatlantic slave trade, Moors, who are actually Cushites, were enslaving white people. They were capturing boatloads of white people who were trying to leave Africa.
What?
Cushites were enslaving white people. They were capturing boatloads of white people who were trying to leave Africa by the boatload. Very same time during this so-called transatlantic slave trade, Moors, who are actually Cushites, were enslaving white people. They were capturing boatloads of white people who were trying to leave Africa by the boatload. White people. They were capturing boatloads of white people who were trying to leave Africa. White people.
Who was what?
They were capturing boatloads of white people who were trying to leave Africa by...
Try to leave Africa by the boatload. Now that's interesting. Now how many witnesses we got to show? This is your super African. She's actually on here trying to tell y'all that the Israelites are white people. She's really going off, but then she just messed up and admitted that those same people was already living in Africa.
White people. They were capturing boatloads of white people who were trying to leave Africa by the boatload. White people. They were capturing boatloads of white people who were trying to leave Africa by the boatloads. White people. They were...
Okay. Now, this only makes sense one way. This only makes sense one way. Let's deal with two things real quick before we end this. Genesis 15 and 15. As for you, you shall come to your ancestors in peace. No, I'm sorry. 15 and 13, 14. It says, and he said to Abraham, know with certain that your offspring shall be aliens. I didn't say slaves. I said aliens. That did not say slaves. That says aliens. So when you read Exodus 1 and 8, it tells you that a new king arose over Egypt who did not know of Joseph. So we did not walk into Egypt as slaves. We went into Egypt as contractors. What were we making for Pharaoh? We was making bricks. But let's show you the difference. Go to Genesis 9. Verse number 23. Noah awoke from his wine and realized what his small son had done to him. And he said, cursed is Canaan. A slave of slaves shall he be to his brothers. To who? To them Hamites, your brothers. Cursed shall you be to your serving your brothers. Like the sister just said, the Cushites was still capturing y'all in the 1800s. You Canaanites. It is what it is. I want to say all praise to Yahweh. We're going to go further in this one. Until then, Shalom.